A very warm welcome to Must Know Topics. In this particular series, I'll be taking down various lecturate and GD topics which will be helpful in preparing for various government competitive examination, including service selection board interviews. Well, the lecture that I'll be taking today will be foreign direct investment, and this will be the 8th lecture of the series. I'll be covering this particular topic in 6 subdivisions. The first one would be introduction, followed by FDI limits, advantages, disadvantages, recent deals and investments, and finally the conclusion part. Well, FDI, that is foreign direct investment, is the capital inflow from abroad to India in order to enhance the production capacity of an economy. The foreign direct investment is classified as greenfield and brownfield foreign direct investment, whereas greenfield involves building up a new factory or a business, for example Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and brownfield involves the buying of existing business, for example Vodafone bought Hutch. Well, as per the latest reports of World Bank 2019, it states that India's rank has jumped to 77 in ease of doing business in the year 2019, whereas earlier in the year 2018 the same report stated that India's rank in ease of doing business was 130. Now, in order to boost the India's economy, the government has increased the foreign direct investment limits, which are as below: food products, manufactured production up to 100%, railways up to 100%, defense up to 49%, banking up to 49%, aviation up to 100% for brownfield investments, pension up to 49%, pharmaceuticals 74% FDI under automatic route, and more than 74% under government route. Well, there are many advantages of the same. For example, this will bring the latest technology to India, and this will develop India's economy by creating employment and will also promote Make in India. It will also reduce the cost of production because the production is going to be done in the same country and the products are going to be supplied as well. It will provide high quality products, and finally the infrastructure will also improve. Now, talking about some of the disadvantages, it may exploit domestic resources. Internal security can also be a challenge. Domestic companies may feel uprooted. Now, if you talk about bringing up the latest technology in India, for example BrahMos missile under joint venture with Russia. So this is one of the advantages of foreign direct investment in the defense sector. Now, apart from that, if we see that most of the mobile companies, Chinese mobile companies like Xiaomi, Poco, Oppo, Vivo, all these companies are assembling their products in India, and they are being manufactured in India because of cheap labor which is available in India. Now, this is also helping India to boost its economy. Moreover, if we see the recent past, earlier Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Pact was brought, which was to be signed by India, but India did not agree to sign it because the Indian domestic market would have flooded with the other countries' products. So this was one of the main reasons why India did not sign the RCEP. Apart from that, the domestic companies may also feel uprooted. For example, since most of the Chinese mobile phone manufacturing companies are establishing their own business in India, this has led to the uprooting of domestic companies like Micromax, Lava, Zolo, U, Infocus, and many more. And this is one of the major disadvantage of foreign direct investment. And recently, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, coronavirus 2019 pandemic, since the world's economy was going down and the stock market was going below, most of the Chinese firms were making investment in India. For example, the Chinese company invested in HDFC Bank Private Limited, and they have around 1.1% of share. So government has made it mandatory that any Chinese firm who wants to invest in India will have to take the approval of Indian government. Talking about the recent deals like Ahmedabad Bombay bullet trains, then Delhi Mumbai industrial corridor, and the northeast connectivity projects, all these are being funded by Japan and invested by Japan. Moreover, recently global investors meet at Himachal Pradesh was conducted, which saw an investment of around 92,000 crores from all over the world, where Saudi Arabia emerged as the top investor. Well, FDI involves the transfer of new technology, job creation, and supply chain management, and the government can utilize this foreign direct investment in order to boost up the India's economy, which will also provide employment and promote Make in India. Thus, it is important that India should look forward to promote foreign direct investment in order to increase the ease of doing business. And apart from that, government should also take up similar measures so that most of the domestic companies, do not feel uprooted and the domestic resources are not exploited. Well, I hope this topic would have been useful for your preparation. In case you like this video, do hit the like button and subscribe the channel. Thank you.